Then you did my dick.
There's no place like space. Picture. I'm the cat in the hat. And we're off to have fun. We'll visit the planets, the stars, and the sun. There is no place like space. I will prove it to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do. Jump in. Here we go. We will fly up so high. We can dance on the moon and play games in the sky. We will swing past the stars, and in case you have missed them, you'll soon see the planets in our solar system. There are 8 of these planets that circle the sun, and soon you'll be able to name every one. Mercury's closest to the sun's burning light. It is hot in the daytime but freezing at night. What's next?
On the Venus.
Venus. On Venus, the weather is always the same. Hot, dry, and windy with no chance of rain. Can you guess the next planet? Here is a clue. It is my home and home to Thing 1 and Thing 2. You have been living on it each day since your birth. It is the 3rd planet from the sun. It is planet Earth. It spins all the time, round and round like a top. Turns once every day, and it never will stop. This question had Thing 1 and Thing 2 in a tizzy. If Earth's always spinning, why don't we feel dizzy? We don't feel the Earth as it spins on its way because we're spinning right with it right now every day. What planet's next?
Mom.
Next here is Mars. It's the color of rust. We sneeze here because it is covered with dust. Travel to Jupiter. And you will find it is bigger than all other planets combined. What's that one? Saturn. Saturn has rings. It's so light, who would think? It could float in an ocean and not even sink. What's next? Uranus. A planet can have satellites that surround it. Uranus has lots of these objects around it. What's next?
Nothing.
There are colors in space. I will show some to you. Neptune, planet 8, is a beautiful blue. We have seen all the planets. Now here is a trick to remember their names and remember them quick. You see these names? The first letter of each of these words is the same as the first letter in each of the planets you name. Now here is a game you can play in the skies. Connect all the stars you can see with your eyes. It's starred dot to dot. Use your imaginations. And you'll soon see big pictures you call constellations. A dog, a great bear, Leo the lion, Taurus the bull, and a hunter, Orion. A star in the sky may look small like a dot, but it's really a big glowing ball and it's hot. And there's one star by far that's our favorite one. We can't live without it. It's called the sun. The sun. From the Earth, it looks big. There is one reason why. It's the closest to Earth of the stars in the sky. But be careful and never look right at the sun. Your eyes would get hurt and that would not be fun. Oh, look at the time. We must go very soon. But first we must take a quick look at the
Moon.
moon. The moon does not shine in the sky in the night, but like a big mirror, it reflects the sun's light. Astronomers flew to the moon to explore a place no one had ever been to before. They walked on the moon and then drove all over in a special moon car called a lunar rover. An astronomer studies what's up in the sky. Thing 2 wants to be one. In fact, so do I. The universe is a mysterious place. We are only just learning what happens in space. So I brought you a present to look in the sky. Just put this telescope up to your eye. Oh dear, I must go fly back up to the stars and take things 1 and 2 to dinner on Mars. But there's lots to discover, and it might be you who looks up in the sky and finds something that's new. The end. Good night.
Good night, Bennett.
Good night, Bennett.
We love you.
Good night, moon. Good night, stars. Good night, street. Good night, cars. Good night, birds. Good night, bees. Good night, trees full of leaves. Good night, teddy bear. Good night, toys. Good night to all the girls and boys. Good night, Mommy. One last hug. Good night to all the ladybugs. Good night to you. Good night to me. Good night to my whole family. Good night, kitty. Meow. Good night, puppy. Woof. Good night, tiny little guppy. Good night, treat. What should we eat? Let's make sure it's not too sweet. A good night bath in the tub. Good night, Bubbles, scrub-a-dub. Good night, tiny fingers and toes. Time to put on good night clothes. A good night story will help you fall asleep. Start counting sheep. 1, 2, 3. Close your eyes now, sleepyhead. Good night, baby. Time for bed. The end.
That's a short book. Okay, let's see. Good night, baby.
Ibu Aquana. Day you dairy bag. K Ibu kangaroo. L Ibu lion. M Ibu monkey. N Ibu giraffe. O Ibu owl. P Ibu penguin. Q Ibu whale. R Ibu rabbit. S Ibu snake. T Ibu turtle. U Ibu hurry. B Ibu bird. W Ibu whale. X Ibu rabbit. Y Ibu egg. D and D Ibu me.
The Tale of Peter Rabbit. Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter lived underneath the root of a very big fir tree.
Peter Rabbit.
Their mother, Mrs. Rabbit, was going out. Don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden, she said. But naughty Peter ran to Mr. McGregor's garden and squeezed under the gate. First he ate some lettuce and French beans. Then he ate some radishes.
Nom, 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 nom.
Boop.
Uh-oh. Mr. McGregor saw Peter.
Uh-oh.
He chased him around the garden calling, "Stop, thief." Poor Peter ran into a gooseberry net and got caught by the large buttons on his jacket. Peter wriggled away, but he left his jacket behind. Then he hid in a watering can. Presently, Peter sneezed. Ka-choo! Mr. McGregor was after him in no time.
Achoo!
Achoo! Poor Peter was lost. He saw a white cat with a twitching tail and crept past her. Suddenly, he heard the scratch noise of a hoe. There was Mr. McGregor, and beyond him was the gate. Peter ran as fast as he could, slipped under the gate, and was safe at last. His mother put him to bed with a dose of chamomile tea, but his sisters had bread and milk and blackberries for supper.
Yeah.
The end.
Good night.
The end. Good night, Bennett.
Book, book.
Boop, boop. I like it. Can I take a book? Ô chị cứ pha wo ka kawa can you kawa wo kaya ekun agree mu ja bo and then can go to bo guna whoop catch aya đi bộ cái kìa anh nhìn cơ đi bộ ở quách gì à khóa đi khu cửa bút đi bút ở chưa có bằng ở cái chỉ có bút bằng chưa rồi đi mấy chưa bút chưa có mong thì cứ ổn định anh biết chỉ bộ ở bút bút one boat anh go vào the marine. Mức chỉ bay ở bộ anh bộ hợp chấp bộ hợp phụ dự phô đi bạc tệ có biết có hợp are you looking good baby? Today I had an oil. Rumble up, coffee got where go to the finger or check will do. Go okay. Do what? Brown bill, you are the I dig a river, Mercury, river, what you did. I dig a river, Mercury, yeah, what you did. I dig a boo, Mercury, what you did. I dig a timber, Mercury, what you did. I get a purple cat for the any purple cat, what you I dig a white dog, but the any white dog, what you I dig a wacky for the any what you I dig a go get my genie, go get what you I get a chicken, Cheeto, what you I go tell you, Mukiani, Sugi, told you what Sugi. It is a brown bear, a red bird, a yellow yak, a bull, a rima, a bubble cat, a white duck, a blacky, a goldie, a gageeker, Mukiani,
Good job.
Goldfish, goldfish, what do you see?
I got to do Mukiani.
Teacher, teacher, what do you see?
I got to do Mukiani.
Children, children, what do you see?
A brown bear, a red bird, a yellow cat, a bull, a beaver, a bubble cat, a white dog, a blacky, a goldie, a teacher. Will you that one? That one.
Family is everything to me.
Apple. Apple.
Bennett, read book. Bennett, reading book.
I go get a bucket.
On the western edge of San Francisco, you'll find 3 miles of sand and surf. Welcome to Ocean Beach. The water is too rough for swimming, but you can enjoy a picnic, build a sand castle, fly a kite, or look for little white shorebirds called snowy plovers. Behind me is Cliff House, a restaurant that has been part of San Francisco for more than 150 years. We made it to Seal Rock. Thank you for joining me on my journey across one of the most spectacular cities in the world. San Francisco definitely gets my seal of approval.
The end.
The end.
Let's see the book. Yay.
The big honey hunt.
You like your new bed, Bennett? Yeah.
See the book?
You like it?
We ate.
Animal. You got
honey.
animal.
We ate a lot. Now we have no honey in our honey pot. Go get some honey. We will follow that bee to his honey tree. That tree. Is that a honey tree? It looks like one, so I know it's one. Sit down, small bear, and watch the fun. Small, are you getting a lot? Will we take home honey in our honey pot? Who lived in that tree, Bennett? It was the owl, not the honey tree. It was the owl's tree. That is not a honeybee. That was not a honey tree. Zzz. The bee. The bee. There goes the bee. Zzz. On with the honey hunt. 10 little night stars. I have 10 little night stars. One little night star twinkling in deep blue. So blanket blue, yeah, that blanket's blue. I run inside to take my bath, and then there are two little night stars shining bright to see. I stand up tall to brush my teeth, and then there are three little night stars. Who could ask for more? I wiggle on my jammies, and then there are four little night stars. The dark sky comes alive. I pick a toy to snuggle tight, and then there are five little night stars. I wish.
My
5 little ducks. You getting 5 ducks over there? 5 little ducks went swimming one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 quack. But only 4 little ducks swam back.
1, 2,
2, 3, 4. 4 little ducks went swimming one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 quack. But only 3 little ducks swam back. 1, 2, 3. 3 little ducks went swimming one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 quack. But only 2 little ducks swam back. 1, 2. 2 little ducks went swimming one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 quack. But only 1 little duck swam back. 1 little duck went swimming one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 and all her 5 little ducks swam back. The first little duck swam up to say, "I'm sorry I swam so far away. I met a little dog who went snip, snap, and that's when I came swimming back." The second little duck swam up to say, "I'm sorry I swam so far away. I met a little fish who went slip, slap, and that's when I came swimming back." The third little duck swam up to say, "I'm sorry I swam so far away. I met a little bird who went rat-a-tat-tat, and that's when I came swimming back." The fourth little duck swam up to say, "I'm sorry I swam so far away. I heard a scary thunderclap, and that's when I came swimming back." The fifth little duck swam up to say, "I'm sorry I swam so far away. I met a little bat who went flip-flap, and that's when I came swimming back." They all snuggle down and say quack, quack. "We're so very glad that we came back." The end. Little L. What can you say that begins with L? Luke likes to lick lakes. L is for lake. Big M, little m. What can you say that begins with M? Mice are mumbling in the moonlight. M is for mouse. Mouse. Manic. Say What letter comes next? How about N? Big N, little n. What can you say that begins with N? Ned's nice new nightshirt. N is for night. Big O, little o. What do you know that begins with O? Oscars, ostrich, oils, and owl. O is for owl. Woo-hoo.